We now speak to West Coast Disaster Management spokesperson Heinrich Robertson. Heinrich, good evening. Thank you so much for once again joining us. Really do appreciate it. You and I spoke yesterday and you told me that you remained on high alert, specifically with regards to two at-risk dams that could potentially have the same situation happen to them if heavy rains continued to raise those water levels. Can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, I can disclose that the rain subsided a little bit and we're breathing a little bit easier. But what we can disclose, it was the correct decision on Friday to obviously create a spillway of the dam number 4. And I think Minister also alluded to that. Dam number 4, the biggest dam in the area. We had to create a man-made spillway. The area had a lot of rain. And obviously engineers of Swartland Municipality, along with Department of Water Affairs and City of Cape Town, they were worried that dam number 4 would topple its banks, and then obviously those waters would find its way back down to the town of Riverlands. On Friday afternoon, a spillway was created, and that obviously reduced the risk of another evacuation of the town of Riverlands. So we are pleased to say the sun is out. It's the first time since Thursday that we saw sun. It was raining heavily, and that obviously called for decisive decision making. And the Swartland Municipality, along with the City of Cape Town, I think made the right call to mitigate the risk of the people of Riverlands.
Yeah, the tally we had yesterday was 220 people having been displaced. That's about 50 households. They were being housed, you told us, in community centers, being provided with water and food in those communities. Has any of those conditions changed?
Correct, yes. The 225 people, that was yesterday. Many of them today, due to the dry weather. Remember, some of them, the houses were only damaged and not totally destroyed. So there was temporary people within the two facilities which you are referring to. Many of them today went back to their houses, trying to mop up and repair their houses because the houses were not totally destroyed. At present, I can say that there is still 150 people still within the Tusong Center and within the Love Church Hall within Riverlands. We expect that those people will still remain within the community care centers for at least another week. But we are pleased, we are really pleased that the National Minister of Water and Sanitation came out today to the town. It really shows a government that is proactive and that would want to solve this situation in Riverlands as soon as possible.
The first two retention dams that had collapsed is under the authority of the National Department of Water and Sanitation, albeit it falls in the jurisdiction of the City of Cape Town. Swartland Municipality falls outside both of those authorities and jurisdictions. Were there any answers at any level about why it is that the dams had, the retention dams at least, had collapsed, and not why they hadn't been, water had not been released from them earlier to avoid an overflow?
At this time, no answers. But I think a step in the right direction was that the Minister alluded to the fact that as soon as tomorrow, water experts from her department will arrive in Cape Town or the Western Cape. They will then make their way to Riverlands, and along with the Provincial Office of Water and Sanitation, an investigation will start as soon as tomorrow. Obviously, that investigation will be, 1, why did this happen? 2, could this be avoided? And that report will be tabled to the Minister, to Swartland Municipality, to the City of Cape Town, and after that, further action will be taken.
Yeah, just perhaps to get a real sense of the scale of the damage. Riverlands is a community-based area similar to Malmesbury, but Swartland as a district has an incredibly high concentration of olive farms and wine farms. Is there any damage to that? And I'm asking this because there could be a fear of job losses and economic damage as a result of that.
Yeah, that is a very good question. The town of Riverlands is a rural town on the outskirts of the Swartland municipal area. This town specifically, agricultural activities include individuals or groups of farmers on small holdings specifically farming with cattle. So luckily, the broader Swartland area, which you are obviously referring to, with the wine industry and the olive industry, that was not affected. But what was affected was the individuals on small holdings, especially those small farmers farming with cattle. And these dams that we are referring to were the dams supplying some water to those farmers. They lost cattle, they lost obviously some of their land, but the SPCA grabbed in and they are providing some cattle feed on a daily basis. So the major industry affected in the broader Swartland area was the small cattle farmers. Some obviously impacted severely, while others only had some minor impacts, but still a big blow for the Riverlands, Chatsworth, and the broader Swartland area in terms of agricultural activities.
Heinrich, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. That is the West Coast Disaster Management spokesperson, Heinrich Robertson.